Oh dear, look what I've just spotted. That seems to be the only bit, so I'm going to cut that out. I can't see any black fly anywhere else. That all looks clean to me. I've just pinched out all the growing tips of the broad beans because that's what the black fly favour. So hopefully that will deter them, but I've also just made up a seaweed solution, so I'm going to spray that as well. Well, good morning. It is the 13th of June, so I think it's time for a June tour. And I'll start with my broad beans. These are the aquadolce. They did have a small attack of black fly a couple of days ago, but as you've already seen, I pinched out all the tips and I sprayed them. I can't see any. Doesn't seem to be any that have returned. So there are plenty of beans forming, some here, down here. There's a couple there that look like they're ready, but others will need a little bit longer. So if I come down in front of the broad beans is my second early potatoes. These are the Charlotte. These were planted or sown on the 31st of March. They've got a few more weeks to go before they're ready to be harvested. I haven't got flowers on these yet, but that's generally an indicator that they're ready once they flower. So I should be keeping an eye on them for a few more weeks. So continuing with this bed, if I come round here, I've got some purple sage, and look, this is all my salad leaves. I've let them go to flower. They all bolted, and I've just left them because the flowers are so pretty. What I do need to do is to sow some more and start again, because they're a very quick crop. The Lola Rossa, I mean, you wouldn't believe I've been picking that daily, but it's just going crazy. But it obviously likes it there. So this is the bean and courgette bed. Curious thing, this particular courgette looks really, really happy. It's got lovely dark green leaves. It's producing fruit. This one, it's producing fruit, but it's much paler. I've given it a really good feed, and I've given it a top dressing, so it's had some more rich compost mixed in with chicken pellets. So I've watered that in. We'll give that a couple of days and see if that makes a difference. This is the Tigerella tomato. I had several of these. This is the only one that survived, but it seems quite happy here, and it's got its first flowers appearing. So these are Purple Queen, and they've got their very first flowers forming. Beautiful colours. And then beside them are the Pongo. They're very pretty. That's another pongo there, and another purple queen. These are all bush beans. And then my runner beans, and they are romping away now. They've reached this height. So these are my mix and match troughs. They did get watering last night, but they look like they're starting to dry out a little bit, so I'll have to give them another soak. So I've just given these a really good soak, but also fed them. So it was a liquid seaweed mixture. They seem happy enough. So these are the leeks, and the roots are now pulling them upright. Again, they had a good soak last night. And the onions as well. So these are the Stuttgarter Giant, and next to them the red onions are the Carmen. There have been a few scapes which I've picked off, but I think they're okay. There are a few collapsing, but I think that's more to do with the wind than anything, plus Paddy jumped up here. So, but they don't seem to be suffering in any way. And then there's the rose. Look at that. I wish you could smell it. Oh, it's gorgeous. It's absolutely covered. And there's still more buds to come. Now if I step back a bit, I've got the rhubarb. That's got lots of young growth at the bottom, so I need to take off some of these older leaves and let them grow up. But that's done very well this year. So this is my pea bed, and as you can see, I think Mr. Pigeons had most of the tops of all of the ambassador. They look a bit sorry for themselves, but I'm hoping they'll recover. Now in contrast, the Kent Blue are doing really well. They're being left alone, and they're much taller than the ambassador. And then my sweet peas, look at this. The very first flowers. What a gorgeous colour. Got a couple of radish down there. And these are the cobra. And they're starting to romp away now. This one's up to sort of just over waist level. The apple looks great. The birds can't get in there. Nothing can damage that, and it's thriving. It's getting a good soak every night in this heat. And I've got some more pongo. And there's another one here. And then if I turn around, the Golden Gate climbing French beans. And this one, that's gone mad. I need to pinch the top of that out. Now this is the sweet corn, and I cannot decide if that is a deficiency or the mosaic virus. I just don't know. But I gave them a really good feed last night. I'm just going to watch them for a few days and see if they get any better. I don't know if you can see that. What is that? So this bed remains empty. This is where the raspberries were, which I was absolutely convinced they'd got mosaic virus. They had quite large root balls, so I've removed everything around the root ball. But I'm reluctant to plant anything there for the time being. I'm going to let that just sit for a while. Now, step round here, I've got my pond. It is absolutely teeming with lots of little creatures now. If you can see down there, all sorts. So, yeah, I'm happy with that. Behind the pond is the clematis. This is going great guns now. That is almost up to shoulder height. This is starting to look a bit straggly now, but I have collected some seeds, so I should be sowing that, try and grow my own. I've been very happy with these strawberries because these are the ones that I managed to rescue, having lost all my Cambridge favourites. And I'm glad I netted them because I think I would have lost the lot to the birds. These are the carrots. These are the top weight. It's an Australian variety and they seem to be doing very well. So this is my triage area, which has been renamed the Cumulus Suite because every cloud has a silver lining. Here's the pen and javelin. This bucket is doing really well. Look at that growth. These are slightly more yellow, so I think they've got a bit more of the infection than this one, but they're still growing. And the sun gold. It's got plenty of flowers on it. Okay, so before I end this, I'm going to take you in the greenhouse. I've left this to last because earlier on it was too hot to be in here. It was over 40 degrees. But this is the Alicante, the Shirley, Outdoor Girl, Super Marmond, and another Roma. Now, I've never grown Outdoor Girl before. I haven't looked it up, but I'm assuming that these four are all indeterminate, so they're going to keep growing. They're a vine, and recommendation is when you get to the 5th truss, you pinch out the top to prevent it growing any taller. So a truss is a group of flowers, and the Roma is a bush variety or determinate. So these are all replacements, and these are looking great at the moment. I've also got my chilies, so I've got Apache, and that's got a couple of chilies on there already. This is a Scotch bonnet, and then the Cheyenne, that again has got some chilies on there already. This is the jalapeno, and then over here I've got some cayenne, several cayenne. I've got a yellow pepper, a snack pepper, and Black Beauty aubergine. At the front, some leeks, and I've still got some purple basil. These are aubergines as well. So, and then finally are my geraniums.